Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome to May. Woo, this meeting snuck up on me this week. It's going to be a quick meeting though. There hasn't been a lot of progress, although after this week, so Intuit's year end is 7/31, right? If y'all don't know that, Intuit's year end is July 31st. So they start their new year August 1st. Generally, when there are changes, they happen during May or in the beginning of June. This is their start of their Q4. May, June, July is their Q4 months, fourth quarter, quarter four. That is their Q4 months. So during May is when we usually hear any changes that are going to be rolled out August 1st, sometimes in the beginning of June. They're supposed to let and notify our channel anyway of any changes that happen to our channel, the solution provider channel, with outside of 60 days prior to changes happening, and usually any changes come June 1st. So this month, it's going to be pretty brief. I only have one little bit of extras that I was going to add and show you guys. Just interesting information, right? That's what we're sharing, interesting information. So talk about news updates, where we go from here. We don't have any product improvements that came out during April, but I wanted to let you know that we'll cover that in the future. So this is the one thing I just wanted that we uncovered this month when we were looking at sales cycles. Because it is weird. When Fourlane started as a company, we started in 2008, technically not as a corporation, just me, Marjorie, by myself. I was actually not in Austin yet. I was functioning as if I was in Austin, but I was in the process of moving. And I mean, like as in a couple weeks, I started this company 2 weeks before I moved down from the San Francisco Bay Area. During 2008, right, it was a chaotic time. And during that time is when our business picked up. It was thriving from day one, because when there is chaos and potential money issues, then people flock to QuickBooks because their systems cost a lot of money. Now, the potential money issues are starting right now, right? I think with tax time. And so maybe we will see those people flocking to QuickBooks more in the coming months. But I'm also wondering if part of the reason we're not seeing as much is because the QuickBooks Desktop going away. You know, that is a message out there. We had somebody the other day who said that QuickBooks, who told us, it was a client who told us that a sales rep at Intuit told them, right? So it's all hearsay, but that QuickBooks Enterprise is going away. And that one just made me chuckle, because I mean, it's not, there are no plans for that right now. But, you know, it's hard to climb through when sales reps who are incentivized to sell product and quadruply incentivized to sell QuickBooks Online, celebrated more to sell QuickBooks Online. It's hard to navigate through that. So some interesting stats around Google searches. So Enterprise search is up 150% from last year, during last month. So last month, April, compared to April of last year. And what's fascinating about that is Intuit has pretty much stopped advertising Enterprise. I mean, you can find it, right? But they don't promote it as much as they used to. They used to put a whole bunch of paid advertising into Enterprise. And so, you know, we would be competing with Intuit if you were doing Google searches, or you would also be competing with NetSuite. And you're not seeing that as much anymore, but the searches are up. So more people are searching for that term, QuickBooks Enterprise. QuickBooks Desktop, that term, QuickBooks Desktop is searched 200% more from last year. Every single May, Intuit sunsets their product. This year, it is scaring people more, right? Because this is the first year where they have to go to subscription or be sunsetted. So searches for desktop are up. QuickBooks Pro, right? The most commonly used software in QuickBooks history, searches are up 200% from last year. So people are still looking for this product. The scary part, when you think about is something going away, the scary part is, do people care? So you're seeing this here. People care. They are concerned. They're still looking for it. QuickBooks Online searches in Google, which are grossly higher, by the way, than QuickBooks Enterprise, like 1 million compared to an Enterprise. It's like 8,000 people search for QuickBooks Enterprise a month. It hasn't changed, though. So that volume of searching has not gone up. It stayed flat. So interesting. Just interesting stats. I thought it was fascinating. The rest of the stuff is all just updates, and then I'll just sit and wait for questions from you all if you have any. So QuickBooks Desktop Sunset. So 531, all services in QuickBooks Desktop 2020 and earlier. So that's Pro, Premier, Enterprise, all of the services. If you're using those products, you need to get upgraded. So integrated into Merchant Services, Payroll, Mobile Sync, Data Security, and Bank Feeds. I wanted to remind you of this because it was yesterday, right? Anybody who was in QuickBooks Online for the Mexico edition had to be out of QuickBooks Online yesterday. We did get a lot of people contacting us about switching out of QuickBooks Online and how we could make that happen. Of course, if you're not aware, in the QuickBooks Online Advanced Edition, one of the features that is my most valuable feature of that product is that you can take a backup of the QuickBooks file and restore it, right? You can take a snapshot. So take a snapshot right now and restore it. We utilize that a lot. I don't think we did that with any of the QuickBooks Online Mexico. We took a lot of people to desktop for that. But yeah. And then QuickBooks Point of Sale update, right? So still the same news. Everybody's been informed officially now that as of 10/3, all services will stop with QuickBooks Point of Sale. So your pathway is that you can continue to use Point of Sale unsupported and with no services, no merchant services, gift card services, mobile sync. You can switch to a product like Fourlane created a product that'll just sit on top of Enterprise but looks like a point of sale product. Or you can start looking at Lightspeed or Shopify. Shopify is the product that Intuit is standing with, and Fourlane prefers Lightspeed over Shopify, but we represent both, okay? All right, so what do you do with this information? Again, I told you this was going to be a short call this week, so I'm going to let you guys all go and get an extra 20 minutes of your time unless you have questions for me. But next month, we should have a lot more. I would expect we would have a lot more news because of the timing, right? We're in Q4 now, and I'm expecting to hear some things about what is coming out. Oh, you know, one thing I didn't mention that was interesting. Last year, the beta testing, if you're a beta tester for QuickBooks software, there wasn't a lot of beta testing happening. I had to like hunt down to get into the testing. This year, the alpha and beta testing, and that's for QuickBooks Desktop also. Only QuickBooks Desktop beta, alpha and beta testing. They started it very early. So the enterprise testing started very early this time around. So anyway, just thought that was, I just realized that I should have put that on the slide. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you. If you have questions for me, I'll hang out here for another couple of minutes. We do have our enterprise webinar series that happens on Wednesdays. We also have our QuickBooks Online webinar series that happens on Thursdays, so you can join those if you want. And then also all of this stuff goes onto our YouTube channel. And so this will be up there in a couple days. All right. Everybody have a great day. Happy Monday. Lori asked, will you do a presentation of your Fourlane point of sale solution for desktop? So Lori, we can send you out, actually I'll put it in chat here, a link on our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, we do have just a 8-minute video about the, oh, you know what? It's probably on our website. Let me send you to our website. Yeah, okay, here, it's right here on our website. So I will put that in chat. But if you need to see a demo, then I can get you set up with a demo as well. So just let me know. Good to see your name. My QuickBooks go-to for all my clients is QuickBooks Desktop. I do not like QBO. What exactly is happening to the software? My clients are not large enough to go to Enterprise. Donna, right now, there's nothing that's happening to Pro and Premier except for the marketing has changed around it. I expect that we're going to hear more if there will be a massive change, like how they did with point of sale. I expect we'll hear more. The way, if you hadn't seen, by the way, Donna, if you haven't seen, so I'll put our YouTube channel in there, the video for our very first video, because I talked a lot about like what, I have to get there, hold on, what is changing around Pro, and then you have to kind of go with your gut on that. If your clients currently are not large enough for Enterprise. So first of all, if your clients are using payroll at all, then Enterprise will save them money. But the QuickBooks Pro and Premier pricing is going to continue to rise, and it's making it so that the Silver Edition of QuickBooks Enterprise is not that far off for these customers. So that's an option for them. But I don't think that anything's happening with Premier anytime soon. I don't know about Pro. That's the only one that makes me a little nervous. But knowing that we have Enterprise, and I mean, the alternative as far as pricing goes, right? Like I know that QuickBooks has done a very good job of teaching our customers that this accounting software does not have to be expensive. And I mean, it's the heart of your business. So is desktop going to be phased out? So Patrick, that's, if you want to watch that first webinar too, that's great. We've been talking about it for a couple months. My expectation right now, if I had to guess or ask for something, it would be for them to simplify their SKUs, but I don't think Enterprise is going anywhere. I've had several clients that need to move from Desktop 2020 and really want them to go to Desktop 2020. Is the only place that I can get it directly into it. So no, Danica, we can sell QuickBooks Pro and Premier 2023. It is subscription at that point, but we can process it for you guys, so you don't have to deal with into it, right? Because then you just avoid hearing the speech that, you know, they have to go to online. So yeah, we can help with Pro and Premier sales. If you want to just reach out to me, I can get you with the right person there. What is the degree of difficulty in migrating a large inventory over to Lightspeed? So Steve, if you're talking about from point of sale over to Lightspeed, so they have onboarding. We actually have 2 people on our team who can help with any kind of migrations as well, but we're not going to charge you for something that they'll do for you for free. So we can talk to you about that, Steve. I can have Dawn on our team reach out. Oh my gosh, there's more questions. What do you suggest to use at this point? Does online do inventory builds? So no, QuickBooks Online does not do build assemblies still. Stacy, what we have for our customers, so if you go to QuickBooks Online, you need to do build assemblies, then you will have to use an app add-on like an SOS inventory or something like that. For our customers who are manufacturing, we keep them in Enterprise. Enterprise is not going anywhere anytime soon. It is a safe space. I mean, I always talk about you want to look 3 to 5 years out, right, when you set up your software. And as far as everything tells me, all of my gut, within the next 3 to 5 years, Enterprise will still be here. But if you want to look at what are opportunities, we can. We also represent NetSuite and Acumatica. Those both do have manufacturing, but they're going to be like a heavy lift, right, as far as staff goes. So if you have Premier, what I'd suggest doing, so Premier, they're not going away right now, right? So you guys have access to these programs right now, but what I suggest doing is explore. So if you think that you are over maybe like $5 million in revenue, we might want to look at just what does NetSuite look like. If you're over $20 million in revenue, we might want to look like, what does Acumatica look like? If you are between 2 to 15, we should also be looking at Enterprise for now. But getting things right now is also the time to get your stuff cleaned up, because if you have really clean books, processes, month-end close, all that stuff, if you ever need to switch products, it will be significantly easier. So that's also something we can do in the next 3 to 5 years. But most of our clients are going enterprise. Can I use our Desktop Pro 2017 as long as we don't use any extra services? Yep. You can keep using that software. Does Fourlane have a comparison between Enterprise and NetSuite? So Diane, there are a lot of comparisons out there, but the thing is that, you know, if you're a nonprofit, it's going to be a different discussion than if you're manufacturing. It's going to be a different discussion if you're in, you know, construction. So we'd prefer to do that in a demo if you are willing to give the time to see an enterprise demo and a NetSuite demo, basically. And it's good. We do it one-on-one. It's good comparison. I am going to start a NetSuite series soon. Also, okay, so David, when you move from Premier or Pro to Enterprise, you do not lose anything. Everything comes across, even if you're in the Accountant's Edition, because in Enterprise, you get access to the Accountant's Toolbox. So you get access to the Accountant's extra features, but 100% of it comes across. Or it should, as long as there's no corruption. Let me put that little asterisk in there, but 100% comes across. We usually have it's just the same as like if you move from 2020 to 2021, the feel of moving from Premier to Enterprise is exactly the same. Doesn't seem to be one-to-one integration with customer accounts in QuickBooks Desktop. So David, I'm not sure on that. I am not the LightSuite expert here. I do know if you are needing on account, one of the things that we suggest is looking at the Fourlane point of sale, because the Fourlane point of sale allows you to have that point of sale look and feel. And basically, if you buy on account, it goes to invoice. If you buy with cash or credit card or whatever, it goes to sales receipt. And so it handles those house accounts really well. So anyway, maybe something to take a look at. What's the best automation software for EDI transactions for QuickBooks? So Tanner, we usually recommend TrueCommerce. I knew it started with a T. There we go. I was like, I know. I was thinking SBS Commerce. SBS Commerce also does EDI, but most of the time we're using TrueCommerce. TrueCommerce was a partner of Intuit back in the day. Back in 2009, Intuit used to have limited partnerships as far as app relationships. So when you bought Enterprise, you actually got one integration of TrueCommerce for free with the product. So it's been integrating for a very long time, and they do a really great job. So that's one we work with, but we have also worked with SBS Commerce. We have worked with a lot of them. Can you do inventory builds in Enterprise? So yep, Enterprise has build assemblies. Tanner, Sassant or Transaction Pro Importer are import tools, but not direct connections. All right, looks like I got all the questions. I was happy I had extra time today. If you guys have anything else that comes up, please reach out to me and I will get it handled. I will make sure, Lori, that we reach out to you today. And I hope everybody has a wonderful May. Thanks, guys.